Hello, and welcome to All Shorts. Yes, another live stream. What's wrong with me? Oh my god, I must be addicted. Oh, that I must. Well, I see in the chat, JBT Online has just let me know that that's not looking great in New Mexico with the floods. So I think it might be first thing we start looking at because it's, well, what can we do about it? I'll tell you who isn't doing anything about it, and that would be Ted Cruz, since, okay, this is obviously in Texas, but he removed 150 million in funding. We'll look at that in a moment, but you know, it's crikey. It says 3 missing. The house has been swept away as flash flooding hits a mountain village in New Mexico. This was today. What time is that? That's okay. What time be in Mexico at the moment? So at least 3 people were missing in a mountain village in southern New Mexico, and that is a popular summer retreat after the monsoon rains fell. Should I actually just make it a bit bigger? Let's do that. Should both see it. Oh dear me. Oh, maybe a bit bigger than that. I don't know who's to blame. The weather, global warming. So emergency crews carried out at least 85 swift water rescues in the Ruidoso area, including 5 people who were trapped in their homes and cars. I can't remember what the head count is in Texas now. Isn't it over 100? Shocking. Now, no deaths have been immediately reported, but 3 people have been taken to hospital but were in stable condition. The thing is, though, you know, it's a sign of the times, isn't it? We all seem to be witnessing this now, sort of extreme weather events. And you get those buffoons like Donald Trump. Like Donald Trump, just in denial mode. And so is people like Ted Cruz and what, you know. Oh, it's an act of God, they say. An act of God? God, give me a break. Now, we are seeing these weather events. They're occurring more harsh, aren't they? More, with more power, more regular than we've ever seen them before. If you look at the stats over the last, say, 50 to 100 years, it is literally, the temperatures are just doing that. It's just crazy. And more extreme weather events. Now, I live in an area in France which is set between 2 mountain ranges. And it can have quite freaky weather. Yeah, one minute you're just, you know, sorting out your tan lines, and the next minute you've got hailstones the size of golf balls flying down at you. It can be really extreme, and also between the hot and the cold can be extreme as well. But nothing like this, you know. This is these landslides, you know. The rivers breaking their banks. But this isn't unknown, is it? This is something that we knew about over a period of time, you know, and it's like in Texas, the risk was known. It was, well, they were supposed to be spending money on it. And there was a portion in the new big, beautiful bill that was supposed to cover it, but Ted Cruz removed it, 150 million, which is going to be more early warning systems and stuff like that. Anyway, who's in the chat? Ooh. Oh, we have people. Let's make that a little bit bigger, shall we? There we go. Cat's Eye Moose. Mother Nature is in beast mode. Well, it's doing its best to get rid of Trump. Yeah. It's just, you know, Florida. All right. If you know what I mean. Pat my crotch. Oh, I don't want to pat your crotch. Try living in Arkansas. Yeah, no thank you. No thank you. I don't think I'd want to live anywhere in the United States at the moment. Unfortunately. I just, it's saddening how fast it's just going backwards. I didn't realise how many dumb people there are. Seriously dumb. I can't, for the life of me, say how you're ever going to turn these people around, because they ain't got, they've never had half a brain cell. Hello, Gingers. Yeah, I'm not live again. Oh dear, terrible me. How's my son? He's okay. He's filled in the forms. He's just got to wait now. So he basically had to reapply, which is bloody ridiculous, you know. Canadian here, scared as hell for the future. Well, Canada's doing pretty well, Mr. Iconic One. I did a video earlier today where I was quite not surprised, but it gave me a warm fuzzy feeling inside to see that Canada's economy is actually riding this out. And there obviously is a transition period, but you know, it's the fact that your exports are up, even though your overall exports are up, total exports, even though the exports to the United States is down. Now that to me is pretty good going, you know. You'd expect it to go the wrong way, wouldn't you? But no, it's not. All these energy exports and that as well, and better relations with Europe and Asia and UK, come to that. How's your summer going? Actually, my summer is pretty summery. It really is. Yes, it's quite warm, to say the least. So, let's actually get that back up, because that's the last one there. That'll do. My work day is almost over, and I have things to do this evening, so I'll miss the rest of this. I'll watch it later. You take care, Gingers. You know. But my income backwards. I don't want to. Who's running the US government? It's clearly not Trump. Well, Steve Miller, isn't it? Donald Trump isn't there half the bloody time. Donald Trump, he turns up for, you know, where you can get a bit of a popularity ratings and what have you, say something pretty darn stupid. But people like Stephen Miller and, let's be honest, the Heritage Foundation. Oh, okay, a little rough for a while. Iconic One. Yeah, that will be. But I'm actually got high hopes for Canada. I was doing some research on it today, and I saw a short video clip where someone was pretty much saying what I was saying. I thought, wow, that's interesting. So I looked it up and what have you. Yeah, your turnover, your overall exports, so not turnover, exports, has actually gone up by 1.1%. That it might not sound like a lot, but when you're talking about in the billions, you know, that's a hell of a lot of money, and also, you know, a hell of a lot of exports. So it makes a huge amount of sense. But when you consider the negativity of these tariffs, you'd have thought it gone the other way, wouldn't you? The US exports, yeah, the exports to the United States, that is down. But you fill in the gap. The only thing is, there will be businesses like the car manufacturers, what have you, that are going to struggle, because obviously they find new markets for them when the market was basically set up with car assembly plants in the United States, all obviously finished cars as well. It's actually going to be very difficult to replace those customers. Miller in charge, JD Vance in the DFS, yes. Oh my God, Stephen Miller. I don't know if you've seen some of the old video clips of him when he was a lot younger. He's always been a Nazi, Stephen Miller, always. That's just who he is. And now he's pretty much running the government. It's just nuts. I do wonder though, because it just Donald Trump just don't seem to stand up to any of these people. It's like they know too much about him. Trump is predictably unpredictable. Makes me wonder whether or not he's actually just, like for instance, the tariffs and all that, changed his mind and moving old goal posts again and again and again, whether it's just part of his game. This is a way to make more money. In the stocks, you see. Threaten a company, let's say for instance, I don't know, John Deere, watch the stocks go down, and then all of a sudden open the doors to him again, and then all of a sudden the stocks go up. Buy cheap, sell high. Doing it all the time. So 3 missing and has been swept away in Mexico, New Mexico area. So that ain't great, is it? It really isn't. So the water had receded by Tuesday night, and the search and rescue and swift water rescue teams were scouring the town for the missing people, while public works crews cleared debris from the roadways. This does not look as severe as Texas. It really doesn't. That's still a sign of the times, isn't it? It really is. But no, this geezer, Ted Cruz. Oh, Ted Cruz stripped the weather forecasting funds from Trump's mega bill. Then the floods came. Oh my God, he's such an ugly bastard. He's got a face only his mother could love. That he is. I was going to say he looked like a turtle, but no. No. He looks something like the Lord of the Rings. Get your news from a source, apparently. Anyway, Ted Cruz had a quiet week. Let's make that a bit bigger. Had a quiet week on Tuesday. Well, maybe because he's been in Greece on vacation. Bastard. He went and got back as quick as he could, he did, but that was pretty much undermined. It was a lie. So anyway, he's on vacation in Greece while his state was hit by deadly flooding. A disaster critics say it was worsened by the cuts to forecasting. It's like manslaughter, isn't it? Doesn't mean that these lives could have been saved. So Cruz had infamously fled Texas for Cancun when crippling winter storm ravaged his state in 2021. He was seen visiting the Parthenon in Athens with his wife, Heidi, on Saturday, a day after the flash floods, along with Guadalupe River in Central Texas, killed more than 100 people. Didn't you also, was it Ted Cruz or Ron DeSantis who decided to go on holiday during the pandemic, even though you're not supposed to be going anywhere? So Texans are dead and grieving, and Cruz is protecting big oil instead of the people he's supposed to represent. It is disgraceful. So the Greece trip, first reported by the Daily Beast, ended in time for the Cruz to appear at the site of the disaster on Monday. And Monday morning to decry the tragedy and promise a response from lawmakers. That's all I've seen by all these people, including the sheriff. These people are responsible for this, I know it's a tragic event, obviously. But you do have to wonder whether or not it could have been prevented, or at least some lives could have been saved if they had early warning systems that were fit for purpose. They knew the river was vulnerable. And why? Somebody actually mentioned, why would you build a camp on the side of a river known to flood? That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Over 2,000 people go to this camp. There's no doubt afterwards that we are going to have do some serious retrospective, as you do after any disaster, and say, okay, what could be done differently to prevent this disaster? But they've already been there. They already made certain decisions regarding monies to be spent. But then, well, Ted Cruz decided to remove it from the bill. It sounds madness to me. To get him to remove 150 million in spending for your own state. The National Weather Service has faced scrutiny in the wake of their disaster. They've had their funding cut, along with NOAA and various other organisations. They have their funding cut. If you ain't got the bloody money, you can't provide the service, can you? Simple, isn't it, really? So, the flood caused deaths and around 20 billion in estimated economic damages. Late night alerts about the dangerous floods were issued by the service, but the timelessness of the response and coordination with local emergency services are going to be reviewed by officials. But before the Grecian holiday, crews ensured a reduction in funding to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administrations, NOAA. What a bastard. Anyway, these efforts to improve future weather forecasting of events that cause this sort of extreme floods, and that are being worsened by the human-caused climate crisis. Yeah. So much for the big, beautiful bill. Oh, quick, what have I missed? Don't become. Hey, nice. Oh, nice one. Cheers, buddy. It's all for TV. It's all a show. Well, we know about Donald Trump. He's all for show. Somebody from the White House. There was a leak. There was from the White House. Yeah. Donald Trump don't really care about tariffs and stuff like that. He just likes to watch people squirm, and he does it all for ratings, you see. Yeah. So we keep talking about him. So everybody keeps talking about Donald Trump. In this case, it's quite negative, actually. There's nothing positive about what we're saying about him, is there? Oh, dear. No. Now, the Donald Trump ain't very happy, is he, with Mamdani? Yes. He's not very happy with Mamdani. The, mayor the likely mayor for New York, and he's been putting some video like promotional clips out recently, and they're really kind of like a sort of deliberate slapdash, if it makes any sense. You know what I mean? Where he's just going with the flow, and it actually really works. And it's like a fresh face, and there's just people come up to him, what have you, and just asking him his photograph and stuff like that, and I'll have a selfie with you. Oh, there he is. Yeah. I actually really like it. I actually think it's really quite cool. It shows him as a character. Do you know what I mean? As an actual human
Every
being.
take is gonna be. all right. That's slower than a tourist walks in Midtown. Okay. You want a photo, brother? Yeah. Yeah. Let's take one. Yes. That's me. Yes.
Excuse me, I need a picture.
Yeah. We can take one. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I bought somebody that wants
Thank
something.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We're
We're on our way. Thank you. Yeah, no worries. Thank you. How's it going, guys? Thank you. Oh, you gotta catch up to me over here. How you doing, brother? Thank you, guys. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Can I take one too?
Yeah, for sure. Hi. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Ready? Okay. I think she's coming. Thank you.
I voted for you. Yo voté por ti. Yo voté por ti. My daughter, she said, voted for ti.
Thank you.
Give me one picture for
Yes.
my daughter.
Your back pocket.
My daughter.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
One
I appreciate it. No. Let's go. Here, I'll do it for you.
Okay.
I got you.
Cámara.
Camera. Every take is gonna be.
He's just like he's breath of fresh air, isn't he? Let's be honest, he's a breath of fresh air. And one of the things I like was watching this and that. I'm watching the extended version of it as well. It's just that there's such a diverse culture, isn't it, in New York? And it's brilliant. Frightening though is what I find not frightening necessarily, obviously deeply concerning when crikey, when you got this horrid little man. Oh, let's come back. Basically, Tom Home. God, I hate him with vengeance. I really do.
Gonna handle it.
Good luck on that, because we're going.
Zoran Mamdani, the likely next mayor of New York City, has promised not to cooperate with you or with ICE or with deportations of any kind. Do you have a plan? Is there a plan to work around that? How are you going to handle it?
Good luck on that, because we're going to be in New York City, and President Trump said it 2 weeks ago. We're going to double down, triple down on sanctuary cities. Why? Not because we're a blue city or a blue state, because we know that's where the problem is. We know they're releasing public safety threats and national security threats to the streets every day because they don't honor our detainers. We know that. We don't have that problem like in Florida, where every sheriff in the state's working with us. So where we're going to send our assets, we're going to send them where the problem is. Sanctuary cities. So I've said it before, we'll flood the zone of sanctuary cities. If they don't let us arrest a bad guy in the county jail, they're going to arrest him in the community. We're going to arrest him at a work site. So we're going to increase community operation. We're going to increase work site enforcement operation. We're going to get the bad guys. So if they don't want to help, get out of the way. We're coming to do it.
Zoran Mamdani, the likely next mayor of New York.
We'll get the bad guy. What, the woman who's selling tacos? Sounds like you swallowed a bee. Well. Right on, New York City. Good to see you have someone you can grow and trust. Unlike the top-bottom feeder. Yes. Need more like the New York City Mayor. Well, yeah, he isn't there yet. He won the primary, didn't he? So, but he's the most likely candidate. And Donald Trump is trying to do what he can do to get rid of him. So it's get deported or something stupid. There's all Russia shit going on there, and you know. So what if the New York Police Department doesn't agree? Yeah, I hope they don't. You know, you think about this National Guard lark as well, where Donald Trump has been taking the people out of their jobs. Basically, you know, they're part-timers, aren't they? And these are like doctors, nurses, school teachers, you name it. These people have been taken out of their jobs to do, called up into the National Guard. There's already a shortage of people, and they've got to take more away. And now he's got more money. Do even more of it. And he was trying to make it, he don't have this problem in Florida. For Christ's sake. Steve. Mamdani has promised a lot. Not many think he can actually deliver. He comes off as a he's just a bit slapdashy, isn't he? You know? I don't think he's a car salesman. If he's not a car salesman, it'd be Donald Trump. He's one who's constantly lying. Can he actually pull it off? What would they? Do we want to give him a go? Well, not to me, is it? But, you know, yes. Quite frankly. It could be it might be a fresh perspective on things. We've seen so many of these fucking politicians, all bought by, lobbyists and what have you, have got their fingers in too many pies. Can't trust them. You can't trust them. I think the people of New York want to change. What other options? What, Cuomo? Crikey. And that Democrat, other Democrat geezer? No. Oh, bloody hell. No, they've had that. They're all corrupt. The standard Democrats are all corrupt. Just like the fucking Republicans. They're just a different side of the coin, aren't they? You know? The same coin, though. We need fresh air. Now, the air in London, for instance, has improved somewhat, but it's not good enough. And there was a young girl who died. Mother set up a charity base. She died from asthma, and it was blamed on particulates. And anyway, she started this charity to push for clean air. And Steve Khan has been pretty progressive on that, to be fair. And obviously, some people aren't happy about it because it's, people need to go into London. The outer zones now as well. Yeah, I know. I need to change them. They actually do they speed up? Yeah, they speed up. I don't know if I can change that. Whether there's any little micro switches on there, so I can actually slow it down and obviously change the time as well because they are out. The first time I did that, it was a right nightmare to do. That's why I haven't done it. To get all at the same time. So we come. I would have voted land if I lived in New York City. Yeah, I think Mamdani would try. He'll do his best. But they're never going to achieve it all, are they? Anyway, you're right there. It's the same with Mark Carney in Canada. He ain't going to achieve everything that he sets out to do. It's whether or not he's heading in the right direction. I think he is looking at things and what's going on over in Canada and how they're how well they're doing with their exports. Clearly, he's doing something right. There's 50+ Canadians in ICE, and they won't send them back to Canada. Oh, you mean ICE detention? Crikey. And they won't send them back. What? Why? Mamdani is a left-wing socialist. Left-wing socialism has never worked. There's no such thing as left-wing socialism. There's always capitalism mixed in with it. Because people say, oh, yeah, socialism, you're going to run out of money. But no, you're in a capitalist country. You say it hasn't worked. I'll tell you what did work. There's a certain individual, Clement Attlee, who, what you could argue was a left-wing socialist, and he brought us the NHS in the UK. Hell of a lot was done. Don't sound too bad to me. We need fresh air. We do. Something feels very false about him, about Mamdani. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about it. I think he's just little. Yeah, he's he's not a showman. And I think that's a refreshing change. He looked uncomfortable, a little bit uncomfortable. It doesn't come natural to him. But what does come natural to him is greeting people and seeing people. That doesn't worry me at all. If you see him on like the little video clips, like ones he does, but other people's little video clips of him, he looks like just an, it feels a bit more ordinary, like an ordinary person. I might be wrong. You might be right. I don't know. We don't know, do we? But do you really want the same? Is he offering something positive? Hopefully he can achieve it. I know it might not be that easy. Don't worry, Texans. We'll keep voting for incompetence. Portrait for but I'm actually in the short feed, mate. So if I can earn more money at this, I'll put it as short and horizontal at the same time. So I need to pay for a service, and I can't afford it at the moment, to be honest. With Streamlabs, and that allowed me to do both, get into the short feed and also horizontal feed at the same time. But like all these things, they all cost bloody money, don't they? So I don't make enough on this platform to pay for anything. So it's bad enough we paying for equipment and stuff, but it's just no, I can't do it. I'm sorry, that's where it is at the moment. And also, I'll tell you what I do find, whenever I do my live streams directly on my mobile phone, I get a lot more people. Right, but if I do them in the vertical format, so still being uploaded in vertical format, I get hardly any people. Basically, it's not getting shown. But if I do it directly on the mobile phone, directly into using the app, I bet you I'd get more people. It's always the case. So if I use that app and go into live on here and choose to go live, like that, right? Use the app. If I did it via that, I'd have more people in there. At the moment, they've got 23. I had about 40 a minute ago. So it's... What do you do? You know? So this is probably the amount of people I get if I went in horizontal format. And it's not enough people, because at the end of the day, I've got to try and get different people from different sources. Otherwise, you end up with the same people all the time, because that's all they're showing it to. It doesn't, it doesn't grow very quickly. So, sorry. I can't do a lot about that. I could not show it at all. The way that Trump headed, no one will be voting. Yeah, that's a valid point, Benja. I think a lot of people are going to say, well, I'm sick of this now. Look at the damage he's done, and sod it, I'm never going to vote Republican again. And now, if you think about what's happened in the United Kingdom with the Conservative Party, that's exactly what's happened there. The likelihood of the Conservatives ever getting back in again in at least the next 10 years is slim. Really slim. So I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. We're more likely to get the Reform Party. So many people have moved over to the Reform Party. It is scary, which is basically Nigel Farage. It's like, I don't know, it's like a British Donald Trump. You know, sleazy beggars. Yes, misinformation did wonders for the Soviets. It did, and the flipping Nazis, propaganda, what have you, in there. So, antisocial program propaganda. Give it up. So why do Americans think healthcare is bad? That I haven't got a fucking clue. Because it gets classed as communism or socialism. The thing is, the way socialism is sold to them is like, oh, it's really bad. It's bad to care for people. It's bad to make your lives better. It's bad to provide services. The problem is, the people telling you all this stuff are all funded by big money. And big money wants to keep you controlled. They want to keep you a serf. You're just another little pawn to move about the board, aren't you? Or off the board. They just want us to be just clever enough to operate the machines. I think George Carlin said that. Just very wise man that he was. Just clever enough to operate the machines. Just so you can make them money. Just wants all to be serfs. Dumb enough to control, clever enough just to operate machines. We can't let them have that. We've got to do our research. We've got to do our reading. We've got to learn shit. And learn different shit. Stuff that's out of our remit. Stuff that we wouldn't normally be interested in. Just learn random shit. Just for the sake of it. You might find that you like it. But these people, they're just literally destroying not just the United States. A huge amount of damage has been done to the UK. Massive amount of damage. Because of people with money. Too much money promoting something or pushing something that was clearly going to damage the country. You damage the country, you can make money. You cripple the country's economy, all of a sudden you can make money. Now, I at first thought we're going to see a massive downturn in property prices because obviously recession and what have you in the UK. And it didn't. It just slowed up. The property growth slowed up for a bit. Because we haven't got enough properties. Just, you know, you can say it in Canada and the United States as well. You just need more houses. Especially for first-time buyers, right? Everything's just too expensive. And we've got to think outside the box regarding what kind of houses they're going to be. It's all very well building out a brick wall, well, they're expensive. And so this old house, you know, this old house, this way it's built of stone, clay, and massive oak beams and stuff like that. It would cost an absolute fortune to build something like this. And then obviously got a brick house, don't cost quite as much, but still costs too much. There are other ways of building properties. And I actually don't think a house really should be built in a way to last 100, 200 odd years, because the effort that goes into it to last that long is too extreme. And the way we live changes. So if you need a home that can actually easily be recycled, really. So you could move on into something else. Look at the technology today compared, that gets integrated into homes compared with several years ago. It's changing all the while. I don't think we build the right houses. Yes, it can. The land can outcost the house in the UK. I don't know what's like in the US, what have you, but in the United Kingdom, people are literally just buying houses for the purpose of just knocking them down and building another one. Because the house has no much value as far as they're concerned. It's just the land. The problem with Big Mac, it's you'll be hungry in 30 minutes after. Yes, that's true. It's a bit useless. Yes, I agree. You want a big tasty instead. Hello, exotic doll. Everything is too expensive, yes. And starting with land, building materials, timber. And I live on my own. I cannot imagine how larger families are affording to live. Well, we need bigger homes. Now, my home in the UK, it was okay. It was a 4-bedroom house. And we had a large family, 6 kids and all that, so it was 8 of us. It was it was still cramped, And we did have a big garden and that, It's just, good sized garden. Not massive, about 1/4 of an acre, so it wasn't massive, but it was big enough. So you have old veggie plots and stuff like that if you want to. But I think it's what we have to ask ourselves: what is living? How do we want to live? Are we going to, I don't know, live to work or work to live? It's just we've got our priorities. They're just all wrong. And the people at the top, they literally want us to keep us in the in the negative. They want to keep us that way. They want to keep us living to work. Some youngsters are pushing back though. They're saying we don't want this now. We want something different for ourselves, because the promise, like for instance, I know the American dream, even what have you, isn't really there anymore for most people. So it's not really available to lots and lots of people. And the same in the UK. The idea you're going to be able to buy a house, and it's only for the few. It's too hard. It's too hard, too expensive. Wage growth hasn't really kept up with inflation, and house inflation has been extremely high for several years, around 15% odd. And there's no way anyone's going to be able to, well, some people obviously can, but it's very difficult to get your foot on the property ladder. Very difficult. Now, I've got 6 kids. 2 of my kids have managed to buy. Oh, that's 3 now. Yeah, your husband's bought now, so yeah. It's not easy. 2 people's incomes, if you ever run for a bad patch, likelihood is you could lose your house. The days of having an £8 a month mortgage are over. Like my dad bought his house for about £800, reasonable size house. When him and my mum got together and bought a house. And the mortgage was something silly like £6 or £8 a month. It wasn't a lot. And interest rates were a lot higher than what they are now, because the house in the first place was very, very cheap. I know there's inflation, property inflation and stuff like that, but property inflation is much, much higher, much more aggressive than it should be. See, property inflation is not in line with just general inflation, is it? At 15% odd. You see, the property developers, they love it. They love it because they know they're just going to make more money. They can sit at the property. They don't sell a property. They can sit on it. They know for well, all of a sudden it's going to be worth another 15% on top of what they've. It's always going to be growing in value. Okay, why are you a liberal? Why not? I just want to get by. I don't put labels on myself. I just want to be able to get by. I want to be able, I want my family to be able to have a home, like like an pretty normal thing to do. Be able to have a family if they want to have a family, and live their lives and enjoy it. I don't want my family to be constantly stressed whether or not they can make ends meet. That's not living. Makes you a slave. Makes you a serf. Only people make money out of all this. Those billionaires who are literally bleeding the country dry. That's everywhere. It's not just in the US or the UK. That attitude's bleeding everywhere. Most MAGA don't even know what a lib is. No, you're right. So the United States has lifted more. There we go. Let's have a look. Oh, wrong one. Chat. The United States has lifted more people out of poverty. The most giving country in world history, and the most free people in the world. And how's it free? You got feckin' eyes coming around and just take naturalised citizens. It's not a perfect nation, no, but there is no place I'd rather be. Oh my God. Your eyes aren't open, are they? Crikey. You're in your little bubble. Like you are, in your little bubble. I bought my first place for Children's X-Thousand in 2006 outside of Toronto. It sold for $730,000 in 2023. In 20 years, that's made this. Shit, man. It's nuts, isn't it? Housing has blown up and it's unaffordable here. Same as everywhere, it's getting horrendous. And youngsters can't afford to live unless you're going to move to, try and move to a country where, house prices are ridiculously low. And there's places here in France actually you can buy a house for for €1, but you must live there. And in Italy, but they're usually in rather poor areas where they want to try and bring money in. Bloody hell. I bought a house for $300,000 in Toronto and now it's $1 million. It's nuts. You're going to earn some serious dough, ain't you, for that? You really have. Let's just move that up a bit. That's nuts. If cheap places double, it's worse in costly places. If cheap places double, it's worse in costly places. I don't understand what that means, sorry. Yeah, €1. Yeah, I did say it. There is. There's a scheme going on I'll try and find it in a minute. But my dear wife showed it to me yesterday. It's not the first time it's happened. What happens is you get certain like hamlets or towns, which the problem is, you see, Brexit's done a lot of damage. Okay, in France, some of the communities that used to be able to would have enough children, for instance, to keep the schools open. And they have to, they can't get the funding to keep the schools open because there's not enough people. A lot of people who are living here, British citizens living in France, I'm not going to say experts, I'm going to say immigrants because that's what they are, have actually moved back to the UK. A lot of our friends have moved back to the UK for one reason or another, especially a lot of older people. And it's caused a problem. It's broken up communities, you see, what happens is if the elderly parents go back, if their kids, who also might be living in France, will go back as well because they need their free babysitters and shit. But it's a knock-on effect. Families want to stay together, don't they? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get people back in to those areas to build them up again. Otherwise, schools and local services, because France is is a relatively big country, and it's actually quite spaced out. It's about properties. Look, every little, like for instance, every town has a pharmacy, no matter how small it is, has a pharmacy and a post office. So it's, you know, you've got to keep all those services running, and if you haven't got the people to do it, all you end up with empty houses, and services end up going, well, bankrupt on it, you know, and shutting the doors. So, we've seen quite a few properties where we live here in France, you know, in the town, that have literally little shops. There used to be like haberdashery type shops and stuff like that. They're all gone. They're all gone. First of all, it was the pandemic, but they were struggling before. And Brexit hasn't helped. It really hasn't helped. A lot of the kids as well have just, you know, because there's more people here, there was more work here. And when there's more work here, the youngsters didn't move away from home, the French youngsters, to the towns and stuff. Well, not as many of them anyway, to the towns, what have you. And there's, you know, because they used to stay put with their families. And, you know, it's one of the reasons why, look, I'll give you an example. When I was in hospital having my hands done for carpal tunnel in France, I was in a double room, right, recovery room. And the guy that I was in there with, he was a French guy. He has a franchise for, I think it was Intermarché or Super U or something. And what he said to me, how do you feel about all the English here? I said to him, yeah. And he basically said, he said, we like the English here because if it wasn't for the English, our children would leave. Because they'd need to leave for work. But because there's, you know, the English and the Dutch and all these other nationalities that have moved to France and built the population up a little bit in the rural areas, because we mad people, we tend to buy properties that need huge amounts of renovation. The French don't generally buy those type of properties. They want these little box houses, which are, you know, very quaint. So it's a positive thing. You know, you obviously you'll get a few people who aren't that keen. I haven't actually come across any problems myself, unless they're palm my back. But yeah, generally speaking, Brexit has caused us a lot of issues in France, these little rural towns. Kitchener. Are you talking about Kitchener? As in the your country needs you. Good night, Kerry. Take care. Night, folks. Night, Billy. Sleepy time. I don't think you could live on land being poor anymore. I don't think I could live on land being poor anymore. You live off the land. Where are you from? I'm from Motherwell in Scotland. I don't know, in Scotland. I'm from Norfolk originally. Yeah, look, I was born in a little place called Thorpe St Andrew, but lived most of my life in Salhouse, near Wroxham in Norfolk. And then me and my dear missus, we moved to France. So we live in the, in Limousin, basically, in France. And it's a beautiful area of France. We really love it here. So we've got a nice house, and we wouldn't be able to get a place like this in the UK for what we paid for anyway. Especially not for what we paid for, because it was a wreck. Though we lived in for like 30 odd years, so there's been a huge amount of work done here. But you know, that's the trade that I'm in. Yeah, so it didn't cost a lot. No, I had to think outside the box though. I really did, because you know, nothing's straight, nothing, and not one window is the same size. Hey Nick, Stony Creek, Ontario, Canada. God. There's a lot of people from Canada following this channel. It's pretty cool. Exotic Doll said Salt House. No, Sal House. No, I know Salt House. There is a Salt House up on the north coast. Lots of birds and stuff there. It's quite a pretty nice little area actually. But no, Sal House. It's just literally Sal and House, and it's near Wroxham. No, really, it's touristy, not really. No, it's just a little rural village, really. It's got a broad, got the Salhouse Broad, which is rather nice. England is lost. It is recoverable. You know, there's got its problems. Unfortunately, Reform Party ain't helping. You know, a North Kiss Starmer. He's a little bit disconnected from reality, if you ask me. Up we come. Hello, Kirk. There's a Kirk. Oh, Kirk. Where's Kirk? I can't see a Kirk. Oh, you talk about Kiri. It was Berlin before World War. What was Berlin? What was? There we go. Anyway, look, I just want to show you this because this is, well, what can I say? This little geezer here is a farmer, and let's just start that one again.
Buenas tardes. Miren qué precioso. Se vienen las cosechas del 2025.
Now,
El
what he's saying
tomate,
is he's
mira,
talking
vente para
about
acá.
all the fruit is ready. With him, he's got the almonds or what have you. They're all ready. They've all
Este es
been
el del
on for now.
tomate.
They pick
Y se viene la cosecha de la
Then,
almendra.
there's there all the other.
Miren, bien tupidita la
Look
almendra.
at the almonds.
Se viene la cosecha de la cebolla, se viene la
Harvest
cosecha del nectarín,
The onion,
se viene la
nectarine,
cosecha de la uva, de la lechuga,
lettuce,
del ajo,
garlic,
¿verdad? Se vienen todas las
harvests
cosechas.
are coming.
Y también se vienen las deportaciones, también se vienen las redadas. Saben que acaban de aprobar
No, that they have just approved more resources
para
for us.
destinar más recursos, para acercárseles para nosotros y para deportar a mucha gente. Así que es muy importante que te
So it is very
prepares.
important that you,
Que te prepares, es tiempo de que te prepares, prepárate con dinero, prepárate con víveres, por si no vas a tener que salir a trabajar 2, 3 días, estés preparado, no vivas al día, prepárate con un mes de renta, prepárate con bastantes alimentos enlatados, se vienen tiempos difíciles, ¿verdad? De lo demás, te vamos a tener que mantener informado, carga tu tarjeta roja, así que Dios me los bendiga, sí se puede, valientes.
Maybe the Great Hunger is coming, according to this poster. But yeah,
Buenas tardes.
who is going to pick the food if all the people are taken? There's other farmers as well been complaining. Donald Trump a couple of weeks ago did say, well, they will leave the farmers alone. We're not going to send them into the farmers' fields now, because obviously got the grief over that. And they haven't stopped. They're still doing it, still gathering them up off the farms. You know? Raiding the farms. This is madness. It's one thing doing it drip by drip sort of thing, you know. I mean, if you're gonna, that's pretty horrible. But you know, but just this intense deportation efforts is just crazy. It's just absolute madness. You're gonna run out of food. I don't know. I really don't know what is going through their bloody heads. I'll tell you what doesn't help, though. It's this. Donald Trump is a feckin' idiot. National language of Liberia is English.
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well.
Very
and
good,
they,
sir. Thank you.
thank you. It's such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as.
He's the President of the United States. I don't actually think he's in control of anything. He's just there, isn't he? He's like that dirty old scruffy teddy bear mascot in front of the bin lorry. You know. I'll tell you what, though, he could solve the debt issues in the United States just by, you know, charging, I don't know, maybe $1 a punch to punch Donald Trump in the face. I'm sure that'd solve all the financial issues in the United States. Hello, Dora. My little friend Dora's come to say hello. Oh. There you go. Oh, he's alright. He's asleep. A good girl. Right. So Liberia was founded as a country for ex-slaves from the United States. Of course, they speak English. I didn't actually know that. I didn't realise that. Thanks for that, Matt in Canada. Yeah, I didn't actually know that. So you live and learn every day, don't you? So Liberia was founded as a country for ex-slaves from the United States. So Canada's just passed US in agri exports. Oh, crikey, they're doing so well. Obviously got the LNG. That's from the figures I put in my video earlier. That didn't include the LNG. These are figures from May. The LNG is only the last couple of weeks, isn't it? Being shipped to Asia. So it's pretty impressive stuff, isn't it? It really is. So I don't know if I'm gonna be doing lives in this format anymore because I think I'm right about that. I'll try again in the evening. I've done 2 now, and the amount of views is pretty darn low. So what I might do, I'll go back to the mobile phone and I'll just do an experiment with that at this time of night, and so we see whether or not I get more people, because I'm sure they are. It looks to me that YouTube is giving preferential treatment when you use their app. I've noticed every single time I've done it on here, still uploading in vertical format, and it's still going into the short feed as it does when you do the thing, but just using the app, just by using the software instead of the app, because I'm using OBS at the moment, which is yeah, it's just a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying. I want more people to come. I get more excited then. I do, honest. I get more excited. Alright, here we go. So that's that one. Right. Get rid of that one. That one there, where is it? Is everyone excited about having a new party? The America Party? Excited? I hope you are. Interesting experiment. Give it a try. Who's a pervert? Me. A Liberian flag should be a giveaway. Yes. Oh, yes. That's a good point. Good point. A Liberian flag should be a giveaway to Taco. Taco! Trump always chicken. So do you reckon he's going to chicken out with his next bout of tariffs on the 1st of August? 1/10 of the population and more agri exports. Your debt's still quite high, isn't it? It's similar to the UK per capita, but you have got some growth, which is interesting. You'd think everything would be going backwards at the moment, wouldn't you, with everything that's going on? I do think, and I do sincerely believe that if the exports keep improving as they are, and there does become money is available, I think there will be some subsidies going to some of these manufacturing factories, maybe like the car manufacturing, just to tide them over. Really, I think they're gonna find it difficult. How can they actually plan with everything that's going on at the moment? You can't, can you? It's guesswork. You need an inside man. You need a fly on the wall. Maybe a drone fly. Little microphones and stuff. Yes, no tomatoes for Trump's ketchup. Oh crikey, we start getting tomatoes now in our polytunnels. Oh crikey, they taste so good. As you realise, it reminds you, yes, gives you more confidence in the fact that you're growing tomatoes for a reason, because they taste good. And also, we kept doing a lot of canning. Do you do much canning preserves in Canada? I know you do in the United States. Still, a lot of people do canning in the United States, especially in rural communities. Ah, the city of Kitchener. I get you. I think about Kitchener as in the, the famous painting by Kitchener. A Trump is like the pervert on Family Guy. You're not wrong. Oh dear. He's like the creepy old racist neighbour. Oh, they'll just go through these. Oh god, yeah. If you're in Bellwood, I'll be the one swimming with a pink noodle. What? Well, them foam things. Oh dear. God, I can't. Yeah, the terror these people living every day. Can you imagine it? Living in fear. You manage your life, and you're doing your thing. You're doing your best to pay your bills and what have you. Earning very, very little money, working all day long, fingers to the bone and all that. For what? Just be deported? It's nuts. And a lot of these people are already getting going through the process. They're not necessarily undocumented. So I always say Canada's not, or isn't usually talked about a lot in the news. Canadians like to hear outsiders talk about them. Oh, hey, look at me. Oh, dear. BBC Online says, not betting on the 1st of August, betting better off buying a Trump watch. 100,000 down to £1.50 on Prime in UK. Really? They're shit anyway, weren't they? It was just all, oh god. You think it's funny how people talk about you. Yeah, it's good. Thing is, you're a test case, aren't you? Not nutcase, test case. You're a test case. We're seeing everything that's going on in Canada and how you're diversified, and diversifying your markets and what have you, and where you're going to sell to. We've got similar problems over here with Trump, and with tariffs and what have you. The UK's not on a free ride at all. No, there's steel tariffs and aluminium and all that sort of stuff. They're still there. And Donald Trump, you can't trust him. And besides, we're still worse off than we were. Well, actually, they weren't worse off. We probably sell less. That's the problem with these tariffs. It's not because they're going to cost us more to send them to the United States. It just means that the United States customers are going to buy less. And that means, obviously, it affects your bottom line, doesn't it? I heard one employee in the United States called ICE, so he didn't have to pay the workers. Really? What an evil bastard. It's not surprising though, is it, really? Some people are just awful, aren't they? They really are awful. Same, he probably goes to church every week as well, Anyway, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'll be live again tomorrow. Yes, Dora, I can see you down there, my girl. We're probably going to be looking at some dogs later on this week. We were supposed to look at one today, but they were closed. They were in the afternoon, but we had to wait about 3 hours for the boat. It's just like it was near the airport. I dropped my son off at the airport, and there's one at this. We want to make sure that we rehome. We don't want to get a dog that's been bred. One that needs a new home. Don't we go? Get you another friend. Do you want another friend, darling? Something quite small, about what my little Wally dog size, around 10 kilos. and no more than 2 years old. Not a puppy, but you know, that 2 years. So we know what it looks like. Because sometimes you get these puppies that look so cute, don't they? They end up looking like Donald Trump. When they're little babies, little baby puppies. But you know, shots, you know. But when they get a bit older, crikey. I know the personality is the most important thing with a dog. You're not the most pretty dog in the world, are you? Or you got lovely eyes, Dora. But you got huge character, don't you? Do you want another treat? She does like her treats. Can't see her, I know, but you know. There you go. Oh, you're awake now all of a sudden. Okay, there you are. Crikey. Dogs, eh? Dogs. Sickly dogs, but they're dogs. Aren't you? You're not too bad, but Sebastian's been really poorly today. He's been panting and coughing all day. He's got congestive heart failure, so he's very good. Oh, Black Death. Lovely name, yeah. Black Death. Long live King Trump. Maybe you'll get the Black Death with a bit of luck. The only good Trump is a dead one. Sorry. Fair that. Anyway, you can go. I don't need that. No, I'm not going to add you as a moderator. Yeah, Canada does not need the United States at all. It does to some degree, let's be honest. Your economy has been moulded around trade with the United States, but you'll change that. You're finding a new route, a new way to do things. And the fact that your exports are up by 1.1% is pretty darn good going. You know? And your imports from the United States are down as well. Considerably down, in fact. So, exports to the United States are obviously down, but you're selling to elsewhere. You know, and that video that I made about that this earlier today, the figures I put in that video, that didn't include LNG, because you know it was happening afterwards. It was happening. The figures was for May, so. I want a Canadian flag sticker for my car. I tell you what, I need some flags for the background. What do you reckon? I can have I know, some stars and stripes upside down. And we'll have the old maple leaf as well, what do you reckon? Maybe the old Union Jack somewhere in the distance, very small. Mr. Death, yeah, good. There you go, Mr. Death, you're still watching, you've got the finger. JBT Online's giving you the finger, okay? I just passed it on to you. There you go. If you know what I mean. Oh, yeah, don't forget to put the old like button while you're here. Anyway, I'm going to call it, I think. I need more people. I need more people in there. Get more engagement. Plus, I'm really tired. Didn't sleep much last night, and I've got a lot of pain today. So, on my shoulder, I don't know what it is. It feels like nerve pain. It's not. Well, I suppose it is really, but it's kind of, anyway, it's fibro for you. It moves around my body. It does. It's strange, I tell you. Anyway, I'll stop streaming now. So, thanks to, did I get any? No. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't have any moderators today. They're all asleep. Anyway, time for you to go, because I doodly, you know. So, doodly, thanks for joining us, and live long and prosper, and elbows up to Canada, and if you know what I mean, yeah. And well done, Canada, for the, you know, showing us how it's done. Doodly.